Now from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Sunday morning.
We start with breaking news in Concord, where we've learned 3 people were shot overnight at a party and one of them has died. Concord police say it happened just after 1:30 this morning at a business on Union Cemetery Road. They say the business rents out space for private parties. An altercation broke out during that party, leading to gunfire. They say Willie Peck III died. 2 other people are in stable condition. Police say they have not made any arrests and they're not releasing any other information right now. We appreciate you being with us this morning. I am Elsa Gillis, joined now by meteorologist Jacqueline Shearer. Jacqueline, another repeat day, warm and some possible rain.
Yeah, we could see some stronger showers, maybe even some storms this afternoon. Heavy rainfall, thunder and lightning, the main risks. But for the morning, not looking too bad. Here's your wake up weather. 7 a.m., we're looking at 70 degrees out there. By 9 a.m., already in those upper 70s. So we climb pretty quickly through the morning, but we really don't get that hot today. 88 degrees is our average for this time of year, and we'll be right at that temperature today with about a 30 to 40% chance for rain depending on where you're at. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to track those showers. We'll time them out, and I'll give you your pinpoint forecast for your neighborhoods.
All right, thanks, Jacqueline. Pageland police now say a confrontation led to gunfire that killed an 18-year-old. It happened just after 5 p.m. on North Elm Street. Tobias Pate from Sherrod died. Police say the gunfire broke out as people were running from the scene. Police and SLED were on scene for several hours. It's still unclear if authorities have a suspect or a motive. They say they'll conduct a forensic investigation Tuesday. A local woman pregnant with twins says she felt humiliated after being accused of hiding school supplies under her shirt at a local store. That woman says she was questioned at the Staples along Pineville Matthews Road Friday while paying for her items. She explained to Eyewitness News reporter Stephanie Tinoco why officers approached her.
Being pregnant is already high risk, and having to deal with that, that's just additional stress that I don't need.
A back-to-school shopping nightmare during checkout.
Some hand sanitizer. Mid-transaction, a police officer who was already monitoring the store approached me and insisted that he wanted to speak with me.
Cheryl Bates says a police officer asked her if she was shoplifting from this Pineville Staples.
And he asked what was under my shirt. Initially, I thought he was joking, so my response first was, twins. I'm pregnant 34 weeks with twins.
She's in fact pregnant.
I'm having a boy and a girl.
But Bates says the officer didn't believe her the first time and asked her again.
In that point, to avoid him asking me again, I actually lifted my shirt just a little bit, just to expose my belly, just so you can see that, no, it's just, I'm just a regular pregnant person buying school supplies, notebooks.
Pineville police says a Staples manager approached the officer and asked him to speak with Bates because the manager believed Bates may have been concealing merchandise.
When I confronted her about what happened, she admitted that, you know, in the past we've had a lot of people putting school supplies or merchandise in their clothes and hiding. So I asked our officer to reach out to you. You pretty much jumped the gun without any type of evidence except for my stomach is large, and that's not fair. No mom should have to go through that.
Stephanie Tinoco, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The mother says she plans on contacting Staples' corporate office and possibly seeking legal action. Channel 9 reached out to Staples for a comment. They told us in part, at Staples, we want all customers to feel welcome in our store and work with our store associates to try and foster an inclusive culture. As an organization, we would like to apologize to the customer. You can find more from Stephanie's interview with the mother on WSOCTV.com. It's right there on the homepage. Today marks the 1-year anniversary of last year's deadly protests in Charlottesville. And last night, at least 3 people went to jail after getting arrested during this year's protests. Overall, it was a peaceful Saturday as hundreds marched through the city yesterday to honor the woman killed last year and stand against racism. Surrounding them was tight security. Hundreds of officers are there and ready for today's events as well. One of the leaders of this year's Unite the Right event is speaking out, saying he's not a racist. He calls himself a civil rights advocate for white people.
White people are about to become a minority in both the United States and Europe. I think we are facing epidemic levels of anti-white discrimination.
Kessler will lead the Unite the Right 2 rally outside the White House today. President Trump tweeted yesterday calling for peace and unity. Meanwhile, Charlottesville's mayor is being very vocal in the midst of the protests. She's putting partial blame on President Trump.
We all are very aware of what type of person currently occupies our White House and the terrorism that has faced the nation partly because he's there.
Channel 9 will be following the protests throughout the day as they unfold. Look for continuing coverage here on air and on WSOCTV.com. Among the thousands of firefighters battling the California wildfires, officials have hired nearly 2,000 inmates locked up across the state also to help. The incentives for those inmates, $1 an hour in pay and reduced sentences. There are 18 wildfires raging in California right now, including the Mendocino Complex fire, which officials are calling the largest in state history. It's actually two separate fires, but they're so close they're being treated as one. Right now, crews don't expect that fire to be under control until next month. Now take a look at this map from the National Weather Service. Officials say the wildfires are so out of control, smoke has reached New York City. If it wasn't bad enough for California, the recent string of tariffs are making it difficult for some to rebuild after the wildfires and other natural disasters. Officials with the state's Building Industry Association say the tariffs have boosted costs for imported lumber and other materials. They say that could increase the cost of building a new home by $20,000. This is the man authorities say stole a passenger plane, did stunts for nearly an hour, then nosedived into an island. 29-year-old Richard Russell was a ground service agent for Horizon Airlines in Seattle. We showed you this incredible footage yesterday morning showing Russell doing daring stunts Friday night. He flew the turboprop plane upside down, then later flew very close to the ground. Now, a family friend is releasing a statement on the family's behalf as they grieve for the man they lovingly called Bebo. They say he was a loving husband and son.
This is a complete shock to us. We are devastated by these events, and Jesus is truly the only one holding this family together right now. Without him, we would be hopeless.
This is the aftermath of the plane crash, part of an island completely covered in fire. Officials described Russell as suicidal. New this morning, another person died along the North Carolina coastline. It happened Friday afternoon in Emerald Isle. A tourist from out of state was found floating near the Emerald Isle Bridge. Friends started doing CPR until first responders arrived, but their efforts could not save him. There's no word on how the man ended up in distress. Also new this morning, a South Carolina man is suing the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, claiming their police dog wrongly attacked him. Eric Sweet claims the dog attacked him prior to his being arrested. Then, while Sweet was already handcuffed, the dog was mistakenly allowed to get free and attack Sweet again. Sweet says the injuries forced him to stay in the hospital for 2 months. The Sheriff's Office denies Sweet's claims. You may remember the Greenville County Sheriff's Office has seen its fair share of troubles lately. We told you last month they were facing a state investigation linked to complaints during Will Lewis's time as sheriff. He was fired after he allegedly drugged and sexually assaulted an employee at a Charlotte hotel. It is 7:07 now. We have an update now to a story we brought you 2 weeks ago. A state-operated ferry system has suspended a captain and crew member for flying a Donald Trump flag. Pictures posted on social media showed a Trump 2020 flag on the Outer Banks ferry from Hatteras to Ocracoke. A ferry spokesperson called the actions inappropriate. The captain and crew member will be suspended for 1 week. South Carolina health officials have confirmed the state's first case of the measles in 21 years. The case was reported out of Georgetown County Friday. Officials are notifying anyone who may have been exposed. The state's health department says the last measles case in South Carolina was in Charleston in 1997. Yesterday, we told you about these Portuguese man o' war showing up in droves along South Carolina beaches. Now we're hearing from a surfer who got several very painful stings from them.
Right away, it was pretty excruciating. The first few minutes, like really high on the pain tolerance scale.
Ryan Godbout still has these marks from the stings. He said they were so painful he couldn't sit for an hour. Lifeguards reported treating dozens of stings just on Friday. If you head to the beach and see one of the man-o'-wars, officials say you should report it immediately. Tomorrow, an accused murderer in Cherryville will stand trial. Police say Jeffrey Eaker shot and killed his girlfriend Lacey West at a home on Black Rock in 2016. They say other family members were inside the home, including Eaker's daughter, who was just 4 years old. She will testify against her father this week. He claims the gun went off accidentally. New photos this morning showing a dog that's thankfully recovering after a brutal attack. Squirt's owner sent Channel 9 these photos last night. You can see Squirt is wearing a muzzle. The dog just had surgery on his jaw so veterinarians could remove bullet fragments. We reported Thursday Squirt was shot on Crandon Road near Peach Street. CMPD is investigating, but no one has been arrested. The Fort Mill community united around cornhole yesterday to raise money in honor of a fallen detective. The tournament was organized by the 809 Foundation, founded in memory of York County Detective Mike Doty. This cornhole tournament was the 809 Foundation's first event and collected funds for several community initiatives.
You never know what people are going through in their life, and Mike's mission was truly to help those that needed it the most.
Last week, Doty's family opened up only to Channel 9 to talk about his legacy. They told us he dedicated himself to protecting his community and helping kids. You can watch the full interview on our website, WSOCTV.com. Today, there will be a muddy mess in East Charlotte, but not because of the weather. Habitat for Humanity of Charlotte plans to hold its 12th annual mud volleyball tournament. The annual event's goal is to raise enough money to build a new Habitat house for a family in need. This year, teams will play at Hodges Family Farm on Rocky River Road. The tournament runs from 1 to 5 in the afternoon. It's $5 to get in. 7:10 now, a live look outside from our Speedway cam. Jacqueline Shearer has an update on what you can expect for your Sunday weather.
You know, we are seeing a few showers in the area right now, specifically in the mountains at this point. Just a few light raindrops down in the metro area. Not a lot to speak of at this time, but we will see those rain chances pick back up, very similar to yesterday. And then tomorrow, very similar to today. So it's really been copy and paste over the past few days. By Tuesday, though, we do get a little bit of a break as this cold front moves out of our area, but then our temperatures start to climb as well. Thursday, those rain chances are back. I'm tracking all of this, plus I'm pinpointing the forecast for Mooresville and Kannapolis coming up next.
All new this morning, an apparent scam targeting people trying to escape homelessness. At 7:45, the accused scheme that's now leaving families with no place to go. Coming up at 7:30, a basketball coach heartbroken at the loss of one of his players.
I don't even know how I'm still standing here talking to you right now about it.
Why this tragic death is deja vu for the coach and his team. But first, thieves are raiding local mailboxes again. The cherished items they're now targeting.